What's up? It's your boy Chosen on the beat,
It's your girl, Miss Bree.
and you just pulled up to the chop shop.
I have no voice.
No voice. Oh.
Yeah, from yelling at you. No,
Oh,
just because I was
shit.
sick.
Yeah. Crazy sickness. So
Yep.
we had an adventurous week. Went on vacation.
Yes.
Super
on
dope.
vacation.
Yeah, 'cause we went to the Lakers Suns game and the Lakers got their butts kicked
Yeah.
by the bench, but it is what it is.
But we needed that. It was a needed vacation because we do stuff for other people and we
Yeah.
don't take time for ourselves to do stuff and have like a vacation away from like the kids. Even though we saw our
Yeah.
older kids,
Yeah.
but we gotta stay with ourselves. Like we gotta be with ourselves. You know what I mean?
5-hour drive all the way to Arizona. It felt like it took 2 hours. We just talked the whole time. It was
know.
crazy. 5 hours of talk. We didn't realize we just talked
No
the whole
music.
time. No music, just talked. Me and my
With
wife.
the J. Cole album that just dropped.
Yeah, yeah, it was super dope. It was super
Yeah.
dope. But it got us thinking, what are some misconceptions in marriage?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what are some things that people think is gonna be like, what marriage is and things of that nature? And we said, hey, we've been together for 20 years. Why don't we share our thoughts and what our thoughts were?
For
You know what I'm
sure.
saying?
Well,
So
yeah,
these are our top 5 misconceptions
Oh.
in marriage.
The number one thing, sex is guaranteed in marriage. Guaranteed.
I mean, sex is guaranteed in marriage. That's why we get married, so we can fornicate, or not fornicate.
Not
so we're not fornicating anymore, right? We want to be able to be intimate with our significant other, especially on the men's side. This is what we need. This is what we want. This is what it's the power of the PUSSY, right?
Yeah, but that's not what I mean.
Okay, what do you mean?
Okay,
What do you
I'm
mean?
not
What do you
saying
mean?
that. Yeah.
Because sex is definitely guaranteed in marriage.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, so.
What I mean in that, there's gonna be times in a marriage that it's not gonna be guaranteed. One of y'all may be going through something and it's not gonna happen.
So you mean it's not always guaranteed when you want it,
Oh, for sure.
Okay,
100%.
I mean, I can see that. You know what I mean?
And it's not just on the man. It's not just like the men wanting it. Sometimes the women want it, and the men are like, their mind is not willing.
I have no idea what men have done that. That's very rare.
No, you have?
I did that because I was trying to prove a point for you. I was pissed. Okay, I just wanted to let you know this is what you do to me all the time. So I forced myself.
Okay,
not to
taste
do
my
it.
own medicine.
Yes, absolutely. Just to show you, like, this is what I go through when I'm horny, and you like, no. You know what I'm saying?
Because circumstances have to be different for me, but that I am what I am. But
Yeah,
you
it
know,
is what it is. But what I'm saying is that there's going to be some times in a relationship where you and your partner are not vibing, or she's not feeling 100% mentally,
100%.
spiritually, emotionally, whatever the case may be, right? She's not there, and you're not going to be able to get it. And you go through certain time
you
periods.
can do everything
you know what I'm
right,
saying?
and it's just not there for the person.
Right.
You know.
So yeah, it makes us feel like, damn, what do we do wrong or whatever. But yeah, you have to have a really strong a connection with your partner to where if you're not intimate, you guys still are okay. You know what I mean?
Because there's a lot of responsibility becoming one. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of people don't understand that.
Right. So be able to have something in between you guys to where you can survive the drought, you know what I'm saying? Because obviously there's got to be something more than sex and marriage, you know what I'm
That's
saying?
it.
It has to
That's
be more
exactly it.
because sometimes you're not going to get it all the time.
No,
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
actually what I think that's excellent what you say. I think that's kind of a key.
Yeah.
Is that there should be more than just that.
Yeah.
You know, because something can happen to that individual where they may never be able to have that again, potentially. You know what I'm saying?
And are you
if
going to
it's
stay?
Are you going to stay with that person?
That's hard. It's a really hard thing because it's really hard, especially, like I said, especially for men. You know what I'm saying? Because the wind can blow and we're ready, you know? Especially when she go to bed with the short shorts, you know what I'm saying? You got the thighs sticking out of the blanket. Come on, bro. You know what that means. She know what she's doing, you know what I'm saying? But no, I'm just saying, sometimes intimacy, it has to be something more mental than physical sometimes.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Agree.
yeah.
Agree. The second misconception of marriage would be a good marriage is a perfect marriage. And I don't think that's accurate for multiple reasons, right?
Okay, why?
Because I feel like a lot of people sit there and think that, oh, well, those people on social media, or these people, they were the perfect couple and then they didn't work out. Well, yeah, because that's what they showed you what was perfect, right? But that's not accurate. A real marriage is gonna have its ups and downs.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna have things that we're not gonna agree on everything. And
I don't mean to interrupt. I think what happens is people think that marriage is gonna be all peaches and cream and all gumdrops and everything like that, and then at the first sign of trouble, people want to break up or get a divorce or whatever. And that's just not that's not what's up. You guys are not gonna get along all the time. Everything is not gonna be peaches and cream. You guys are gonna, have conflicts. You're gonna not agree on things. It's okay. It's a season. You gotta just stay through that season because that person is your person. You're not gonna get rid of that person because they're making you mad for a little bit.
actually, most people that you're really close to get on your nerves the most.
Yeah,
They
absolutely.
do. Because you see every everything about them
Right.
consistently.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just understand that you're gonna go through the fire. And if you're not willing to go through the fire, if you're not willing to do whatever you need to do to keep your marriage, then you're gonna probably be divorced a lot. You know what I mean? And why do that? You're gonna go, you rather like this didn't work out, you're gonna go try this person, oh this didn't work out, try this person, this didn't work out, try this person, this didn't work out. Well, you already had your person and you just gotta really just build together.
Build
you know what I'm
with
saying?
them. You gotta grow and
You gotta
build.
build and grow. It's very hard to find someone who has your back. And when you do find that person, you gotta do whatever you can to keep it whole and stay whole. Find someone, you hold on to them, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, you gotta understand that, like I said, things aren't gonna be great all the time. But you're willing to build and push through the fire, you know what I'm saying? Because you know, most of the time it's gonna be good. You know what I mean? So that's
Yeah,
all
exactly.
I'm saying. I mean,
The good outweigh the bad.
it's not perfect.
But we're not saying stay in a toxic relationship.
no.
No, don't
Yeah.
stay in a toxic relationship just because you're like, well, I'm gonna thug it out. You know what I mean?
no, don't be.
don't
no.
be stupid
You know what
about
I'm saying?
it. You know what I'm
Don't.
saying?
If
If there's red flags,
yeah.
and there's more red flags
My-
than the green flags,
Yeah.
then by all means, you know,
We're
do
not
what you
saying
gotta
stay in
do.
an abusive relationship, doing that. We're not
No.
saying any of that stuff. We're just
No.
saying like the normal ups and downs in a normal relationship don't run at this first sign of trouble because it's like, oh, it's not perfect. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, marriage, no one's perfect. You know what I mean? So
No. So the other topic would be that marriage is 50-50.
I mean, it is 50-50.
If it's out of 100. But let me say this to you. So if you're in a marriage, why am I going to give you half of me? In this marriage, I would expect the person to provide 100% if I'm giving 100%.
So it's 200%.
200%.
200%.
200%.
200%.
200%.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? because like you said, there may be a time where the person can't give.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like me being sick, right? This
Yeah.
past couple of weeks, man, I couldn't go. I couldn't even come downstairs to get a glass of water or
Right.
get a bottle of water. I was like, babe, I called you, and he was working. He was working overtime, and then our baby, our youngest, our 11-year-old, sick too. And I was like, she got me sick, and I was just like, I can't do anything. So he held it down, and we both want different food. We want different things at different times. We need medicine at different times, all that stuff. And you still worked and took the dog out, and then did all these things. Still went to the gym, did all these things for yourself, and you gave 190%. I gave 10. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My 10 was calling you on the phone.
Right.
Can you come bring me some food?
Right.
You know what I
My
mean?
bill, my
I
bill.
want mashed potatoes.
You know what
Okay,
I'm
let me
saying?
go buy some potatoes at the store. You know what I mean? Like that is something, I mean, let me just say, I love that because you said, hey, 200% still needs to be done in this household. You can't handle it right now for obvious reasons. I'm gonna handle what needs to be done because we still need to be at 200%.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And vice versa. If we do what is necessary for the household to run
I
200%.
think people think that when they say 50-50, they're thinking like financially, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? Like even with that, like,
No, but
like
maybe to a certain
listen,
extent.
even with that, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, sometimes if your man loses a job or whatever and he's down and out, what are you gonna do? Leave him because he's down and out? He's not making what you guys are used to making? No, that's when you get out there and you handle business or whatever, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because you're a part of the family too. It's like all these unrealistic expectations that you see on social media is not realistic.
It's not realistic in real life.
$50,000. And listen, and there's different tax brackets for different females and different type of stuff.
Yeah,
That's different.
yeah,
But I'm talking
yeah.
about realistic husband and wife, upper class, middle class, men and women out there working and doing what they got to do. Sometimes it's gonna be some person's doing more than the other person. You know what I mean?
True.
And if your job and your goal and what you have to do at this season is to be taking care of the household because that's where you're at, that's what your percentage is going to be given, then so be it. Don't demean that person or whatever or bring them down because they're, that's what they have to do as far as the household. You know what I mean? So
Exactly.
you got to realize that, like I said, you are a team, you're a business, and sometimes one of you are going to have to give more than the other one. That's just what it is.
Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just don't think that's accurate. I know it's funny, it rhymes and everything like that, but at one point I was like, oh yeah, he makes me happy, and then yes, the world and our life is happy, but then that's not accurate because then over the years that I've got to know you better and stuff like that, I'm looking at it like, what about your feelings?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why is it always like you have to get on the cross? Why do you have to always die down what your emotions are to make your wife happy?
Yeah.
That seems unrealistic too,
No, I used to think that it's like happy wife, happy life, and then I started thinking like, yo, why does a man have to deny his feelings just to make his wife happy all the time, right? And I'm not saying that wives don't make their husbands happy. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm just saying I don't really like that term "happy wife, happy life" thing because it's all about making the woman happy, and the man has to obviously be unhappy in order to make her happy.
Right? Doesn't that sound crazy?
I did hear somebody on Instagram call it happy house, happy spouse. And I'm
I
like,
love
yo,
that.
that's higher.
I
That's
love
hard
that.
because
love that.
that means I can be happy, you can be happy.
exactly.
And it's going to be some times where sometimes you're going to sacrifice your happiness to make your significant other happy because you want to,
That's
because
true.
you know they're going to do the same thing for you. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? It's
It's
not just always
reciprocated.
one-sided. You know what I'm saying?
sure.
The woman's not always dying down so that you can be happy and you can do whatever you want to do and things of that nature, or vice versa. The man ain't dying down that he can't go hang out with the boys because it's going to piss you off, or he can't go do this because it's going to piss you off, or,
Right.
you know, well, my wife doesn't want me to go, so I can't go, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, why? You know what I mean? Stuff
Yeah.
like that, you know what I mean? I just think that, like I said, in a healthy relationship and a healthy marriage, you both make sacrifices, and I think it makes it better because I know you sacrifice for me all the time. You know what I mean? All the time you do. There's always a mutual sacrifice. And I think when you truly love your partner and you truly want them to be happy, you're more willing to do that.
For
you know
sure.
What I'm saying?
As long as the sacrifice isn't one-sided consistently.
Exactly.
Yeah, as long as that, I can see, because otherwise there can hold a resentment
Yeah.
towards the person, you know. But as long as we are like, hey, you know, it is what we got to do, and that's where that leans into that 200%. Whereas like there's gonna be times that I can't provide everything, and then vice versa, you know. But that leads us to the last one, number 5. Your job doesn't stop when you clock out from your day job.
What does that mean? Ooh. About the ooh. Say it loud.
Okay, just because you work your job, your regular job, your 9 to 5 or whatever, you don't get to come back and be like, oh, and then just drop everything and be like, okay, well, what's this? Where's food? Where's this? I want this. I want this. I want, you know, that's a lot of expectations. When what was your wife doing, or what was your significant other doing for while you were gone?
Yeah.
Maybe there was kids involved, taking care of the household, cleaning it up, doing so, whatever. Maybe she does the finances. Maybe she deals with other things that she had to do with her. Right. Her job didn't stop, so that she has to continue on now with you.
Yeah, I just think like
and I
this.
think that's fucked up.
Yeah, I just think
you know?
I just think that, you know, you just because you work 12 hours a day doesn't mean that you're. You know, I'm not saying this is her role. This is what she does, but her job is not never done, right?
Yeah.
She's more 24 hours. So I think it'd be better if people wouldn't always expect, okay, well, I did my 8 hours, I'll come home and I'm done. If there's kids involved, there's kids, there's lunches, there's dinners, there's homework, there's extracurricular activities or whatever the case may be. There's all of this stuff, and it shouldn't necessarily just fall on a woman or whoever the house, whoever the homemaker is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The homemakers do not have days off or time out, or you know, they don't clock out. So I don't understand why some people or some men or whatever think about, okay, yeah, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? I work my hours at work. I'm coming home. I'm done. I don't need to do anything else like that. You know what I mean? I think that'll cause a conflict.
I think yes, I do think it can cause a conflict, but I also, I'm gonna flip it the other way. I'm gonna be like devil's advocate a little bit, because when men leave to go to work, they're dealing with a lot of bullshit. You know, they're dealing with bosses. Maybe they don't. You know what I mean? They have to deal with like all this crap that's happening to them, and they come home and they want the safe haven when they come home, and then they want to be able to like just relax and let go. You know what I mean? So I can see that part also being a factor, but I just don't think that needs to be that like on a regular basis. I mean, sometimes you had a hard day at work. We work from home, right? But you're like, hey, that Laker game's on. That Laker game is on. You don't even come out your room. And I'm like, is he still working? And then you're like, fuck, LeBron, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. So I hear that, and I'm like, I'm just gonna let him be. Unless I'm like, I need you because I have to go do something myself or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I understand that part too.
But I'm not saying, that's not what I'm saying. Yeah, you can come home and decompress or whatever the case may be, right?
Give him a second.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, just don't expect that you're not gonna do nothing. And then expect pussy and suckage and you expect it all. And like I said, I just think that, you know, women get tired, dude. And I've always been a person who'd be like, I don't want to demean my wife to make her to be a housewife or just happen to, even if I.
That's not a demeaning job, though. I don't think that's.
But some people try to demean. There's some people try to use that as a demeaning situation.
Okay.
You're just a housewife. You know what I'm saying? I hear a lot of time when I'm at work, oh, I'm just a housewife. I'm like, no, you're not. You're more than that. You know what I'm saying? I say, well, you handle the house.
Chef, you're a chauffeur.
You know what I'm saying? So
you know,
there's still a lot of shit to do. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes your wife needs a break too, or your husband needs a break too if your husband is a homemaker. You know what I'm saying? Think about this in a marriage though, okay? Seriously, just because your day job is done, don't mean your job is done. You know what I mean? So,
that's true. Yeah. So that's all top 5 or whatever. That's our 5. Do you have anything else to bring that you think that we didn't bring up during these 5 misconceptions?
Probably, but we'll say that for another time.
Okay. Well, if we missed one, what do you guys think? Leave it in the comment. Let us know what you think.
You gotta let us know in the comments what you think about.
If you disagree with us, we'd love to hear it.
Yes. I'm Children on the Beat.
Girl, Miss Bree.
You just pull up to the chop shop.
Skirt.